Have a great night.
Good night.
Bye-bye.
Of disasters in the U.S., chances are every area will deal with some kind of emergency in the next decade. And between school, sports, and social lives, chances are you won't be with your kids when it happens. Will they know what to do? Ready.gov/kids has the educational tools and information to make the conversation easy. When the time comes, chances are they'll feel prepared, not scared. So talk with your family today.
I had to eat a raw egg on Chris's dormitory floor.
I currently don't have any federal pending charges.
You know what you never did? You never walked to Walmart, Chris.
That's my co-host. This is for making me eat roast Pop-Tarts.
It's showtime, Chris. Come on.
I want to be on the air for that. I got a couple things to say.
No. Spin the wheel. But you got censorship.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back to...
Tonight on Hockey Talk, the offseason is officially over. What did the three New York teams and my Montreal Canadiens do over the summer?
And both teams from NYC just had their first preseason games. How did it shake up for the young guns of the Rags in the Isles?
And finally, the two teams of our very own, the Buffalo Sabres and the Montreal Canadiens, kick off their preseasons as we speak. How will it fare for the Habs and the Sabres? All that and more right now on Hockey Talk. Welcome back to Hockey Talk, the show made by hockey fans for hockey fans. My name is Rob Finger, alongside my co-host Eric Palmieri, and we're here to talk hockey. Now, for those of you that remember, this is most certainly not the first episode of this show. It was run in the fall of last year. I wanted to run it in the winter, but I, like an idiot, forgot to fill out the form for it. So, that's why we weren't on the air in the spring of last year. But what a year it was. The Florida Panthers were crowned back-to-back Stanley Cup champions, beating McJesus's Edmonton Oilers for the second year in a row, this time in just 6 games. But we're back. The offseason has concluded, and I think the both of us have some pretty strong opinions, especially you, Eric, with the choices that the Sabres made over this summer. What exactly were those choices here?
Yeah, Rob, I don't know if I'm exactly ready for Sabres hockey to start. You know, my mental health has been in a very good place. But they made some questionable choices over the offseason, that with trading of one John Jason Peterka, otherwise known as JJ Peterka. He got traded to the Utah Mammoth on a 5-year, $38 million extension, averaging out to $7.7 million a year. Why the Sabres couldn't pay that? Not quite sure, but I've had some time to wrestle with it. I was very angry when it first happened, and after some moves in the offseason, I've come to become content with it.
Yeah, I was about to say
become content with it, because at the end of the day, we've gotten rid of a 30 goal scorer for a season, and that's really You're going to struggle on offense. You're really that first line's going to be fine with Tuck, Thompson. You're probably putting Josh Norris in there, hopefully. He's only played 3 games, but hopefully he's what Dilly Cousins couldn't be.
Yeah.
But you're going to be looking for some scoring from the second and third lines. You're going to be looking at Tyson Kozak. You're going to be looking at Yuri Kulik, Zach Benson. You're going to want these young guys between the ages of 20 to 22 to really step up and find the back of the net, because so far that has just not been the case. And on the opposite side, the defense is just going to be so exciting with Kesselring coming in and the addition of Connor Tibbins. But let's talk about your Habs. They've had a pretty interesting offseason.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we have gotten some serious heavy hitters. We got Noah Dobson from the one and only New York Islanders. I believe this is now his 2nd season, and he was just on fire last year for the Islanders. And now people are even saying that he's already become defenseman number 1 in Montreal. The thing with that argument is, though, you have Lane Hutson on the other side. He just broke the record for defenseman assists in a rookie season and got the Calder on top of that. I don't think there's a single reason to doubt that Lane Hutson won't do it again in his 2nd season here. So, I mean, yeah, the addition of Noah Dobson is absolutely fantastic as well. He was on fire for the New York Islanders last year, and now to have that and just to bolster the defense that we have, because I mean, a couple years ago we made that pick of David Reinbacher, the one that Carey Price went up to the mic and forgot his last name. Yeah, it was not the proudest moment for me as a Habs fan, but nonetheless, we've now bolstered the defense a little bit. And as well, we got another man from, believe it or not, the St. Louis Blues, Zachary Bolduc. And here's what I like about this guy. So last year, there was a game between the Montreal Canadiens and the St. Louis Blues, and he spouted out just about the most Quebecois thing he could possibly have. He's already a fan with the people of Montreal and the francophones of Montreal because, well, he said a very Quebecois phrase to David Savard. The phrase itself, however, contains a Quebecois swear word. So that's why I'm not going to be saying it, because I don't want the FCC to bite my rear end. Its rough translation is, let's go for F's sake. And it's just I saw that in a clip and I'm like, he's perfect. He's absolutely perfect. Well, we welcome you with open arms to the fold of the Montreal Canadiens. Zachary Bolduc, welcome, bienvenue à Montréal. So, the Habs have made some absolutely fantastic moves over the summer, and one move that they did make that, well, simultaneously surprised me but doesn't surprise me given GM Kent Hughes, is the move that they made to get Carey Price's contract off the books.
Yes.
And trust me, we were running out of cap space, so unfortunately it was a little bit of you kind of have to do it. But now he is officially a member of the San Jose Sharks. And we got, I believe, a depth defenseman for it as well. So a deal made, and I doubt that Carey Price will ever suit up for the Sharks. It'd be kind of neat to see him in a color other than red.
I don't think it's happening, though.
But yeah, no, I don't think it's happening. And I hope that they do the same thing that the Penguins are doing right now with Marc-Andre Fleury, where they sign him to PTO, have him play a preseason game, and then have him retire a Hab, because that's what he should have always been. It's like It's like one of those front office moves, like what Marty Brodeur did with the St. Louis Blues at the end of his career, where he played 1 or 2 games for them or something like that. But yeah, like I said, the Montreal Canadiens this year have essentially done almost everything right. And that's why even GM Kent Hughes and owner Jeff Gorton have been in talks to be extended as well with the Montreal Canadiens. So I am very, very hopeful for this season. The trio of Kent Hughes, Jeff Gorton, and Marty St. Louis at the front of the Canadiens ship. Sign me up. Well, don't go away, ladies and gentlemen. The offseason is over, and the preseason has just begun. Both teams from the city played game one last night, and only one of them came out on top. We'll see which one when we return on Hockey Talk.
When you look at the number of disasters in the U.S., chances are every area will deal with some kind of emergency in the next decade. And between school, sports, and social lives, chances are you won't be with your kids when it happens. Will they know what to do? Ready.gov/kids has the educational tools and information to make the conversation easy. When the time comes, chances are they'll feel prepared, not scared. So talk with your family today.
I had to eat a raw egg on Chris's dormitory floor.
I currently don't have any federal pending charges.
You know what you never did? You never walked to Walmart, Chris. That's my co-host. This is for making me eat roast Pop-Tarts.
It's showtime, Chris.
Come on. I want to be on the air for that. I got a couple things to say.
No. Spin the wheel. But you got censorship.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back to.
Welcome back to Hockey Talk, the show made by hockey fans for hockey fans. I'm Rob Finger alongside Eric Palmieri, and the off-season is now over. It's done. I said so. That means one thing. We've got games to cover. Of course, being in New York State and having so many people from downstate around us, we have to cover the Rangers and the Islanders. But good news, they both played games just last night. Let's get into it. The first one being starting with the New York Rangers, as they were the first ones to hit the ice, playing against their across-the-river rivals, the New Jersey Devils. This one was over in Jersey at the Rock, and it was a barnstormer, as they usually are. The crowd split between Rangers fans and Devils fans, and you could hear it for certain whenever the Rangers scored. But let's get into it and get into the game itself. So it started with a first period goal from Gabe Perreault, the prospect himself for the New York Rangers, assisted by Fitzgerald as well. Literally 3 minutes into the game, this one as well. A snapshot. This has got to be a good sign, especially for Perreault coming in for the Rangers here.
Yeah, I mean, especially on that goal, we saw what will be a just continuing theme in this game of just awful rebound control from the New Jersey Devils.
Yeah.
There are several, and you got to love the offensive aggressiveness of the New York Rangers, but on several shifts, not one, not two, but like 3 to 4 shifts, you can see in the highlight package on YouTube of just like offensive shifts that last over a minute, and it's shot on shot, and it's not like crazy plays by the offenseman for the Rangers. It's more just the Devils just not really getting to the puck, kind of like a lackadaisical skating.
And the thing as well with that first period as well, because for the first period they had Jonathan Quick in net for the Rags and Jake Allen in for the Devils, so both of their starters anyway, minus Igor Shesterkin, but they were playing on their head, the goalies themselves, but their defense just wasn't clearing anything, especially for Jake Allen. I mean, yeah, because that, and now going over to the Devils side here, Brian Hallinan got that second goal on a power play as well to tie it up.
That power play was sweet. It was textbook, and then textbook one-timer. Quick didn't even see it.
Yeah.
It was too quick for quick.
And then we go to the second period where Dylan Rubrek was able to put one in off of Matt Rempe. You heard that right, Matt Rempe actually produced on offense. I am amazed. This guy can't just fight. He actually broke up a good play in the neutral zone and made a scoring opportunity that they then scored on. I am amazed.
I was gonna say I saw the highlight and I saw Rempe, I saw 73. I was like, oh, we're about to see a fight. And no, he pickpockets it.
No,
it's beautiful.
yeah.
He has a great little move. It doesn't go, but then his guy comes in right off the rebound for a beautiful assist. I mean, if Rempe can produce like that on offense, that would be an outstanding sign for the Rangers for the regular season.
Especially for him as well, Matt Rempe. He was doing a lot of stuff in the offseason as well. So you hope for the sake of the Rangers, that Matt Rempe is now turning into a power forward. That'd be dangerous, especially for them, as they were able to score a whole ton of goals after that. Sheary, Morrow, Brodzinski, all getting goals here. And the Rangers came out with the win 5-3 over the New Jersey Devils. So they were the one New York City team to actually take a dub last night. But now we'll head over to the other New York team, that being the New York Islanders. They were sent to the city of brotherly love and slightly insane sports fans, Philadelphia, to face off against the Flyers, the first expansion team to ever win the Stanley Cup, with the Islanders, of course, then being the second. But since we are talking about the Philadelphia Flyers, we do have to touch on, unfortunately, a great loss that we as hockey fans have just suffered as well. Bernie Parent, one of the first goalies for the Philadelphia Flyers, unfortunately passed away just yesterday. He was, believe it or not, a native of Montreal. And he grew up watching the Habs with Jacques Plante as his idol, and believe it or not, they were actually teammates towards the end of Jacques Plante's career when both of them played for the Leafs. But yeah, Plante told him everything he knew, and then in 73 and 74 with the Flyers, he won a record 47 games in a single season, a mark that would literally stand for 30 years, only being broken by the cheat code that is Marty Brodeur. But he got a back-to-back Cup, Vezina, and a Conn Smythe triple in 74 and 75, the latter year beating your Sabres and the French connection that was there at the time. But nonetheless, he himself retired in 1979 following an eye injury, and unfortunately you can't really goaltend with something like that. But believe it or not, he's the only goalie in the top 10 winningest seasons to have played the entirety of his career before the year 2000. This guy is literally, I kid you not, one of the, if not one of the best goalies in NHL history. And he was named one of the NHL's 100 greatest players of the first 100 years back in 2017. And then yesterday, unfortunately, Barry Perron passed away in his sleep. So once again, rest in peace, Monsieur Perron. Thank you very much for what you have done for the game of hockey. Anyways, so the Islanders took on the Flyers last night down at, I believe it's the Wells Fargo Center down there in South Philly. And there's one thing that we found out about this game. We cannot find
extremely
the highlights.
Annoying.
NHL, where's the highlights?
Where's the highlights? This game went to an 11-round shootout.
Yes.
And not to mention, you have your first overall pick, Matthew Schaefer, playing in the game. You have your first overall pick playing in this game. This is like the NFL just didn't post Cam Ward highlights. Matt Schaefer picked up his first NHL point off a great slap shot and then a rebound by Kyle Palmieri, Syracuse alum. Great name, by the way. And it's just nowhere to be found. And that's a little upsetting. But overall, Rob, this game was amazing.
Absolutely. And two of the three goals as well were two of the 4 goals that were scored were also on rebounds as well. So a little bit of rebound control needing to happen from all 4 teams that we have covered.
Rust. Just a little bit of rust.
Just a little bit rusty. And like you said, Kyle Palmieri equaling it in the second period for the Islanders. Marshall Warren, actually, on a play from Matt Barzal, was able to get a 2-1 lead for the Islanders with actually another assist from Kyle Palmieri. Yeah, former member of the Syracuse Crunch. But then Matvei Michkov with a minute and 18 seconds to go, equaled it in the third and sent it to, like you said, an 11-round shootout in which the Flyers won.
Insane.
3-2, the final score from Philly. Well, the preseason is underway, and that includes game going on as we speak. And both of our teams, the Sabres and the Habs, have games happening right now. We'll have all that and more when we return on Hockey Talk.
Say, President Stanley, whenever there's bad weather, who would you turn to?
I'd turn to Storm Team 10.
No,
right
but you've
here.
got to say it like this. Storm Team 10. Say it with me. Storm Team 10.
If you like action, romance,
sister, if you're watching this,
and highbrow humor,
surface is this.
Floor. Minch did not legitimately put his head in the toilet.
there's only one place to turn.
No!
Tune in to new episodes of
Oh boy!
only on WTOP.
Welcome back to Hockey Talk, the show made by hockey fans for hockey fans. I'm Rob Finger alongside Eric Palmieri, and it is time. Our teams are on the ice and duking it out, and we'll start with the Buffalo Sabres. They are currently at the Nationwide Arena taking on the Columbus Blue Jackets, the team that will then go on and face Marc-Andre Fleury and be the last team that tries to score on him in his career later when they play the Pittsburgh Penguins. But that's beside the point. The Sabres are raring and ready to go, ready to shake the 15 years of pressure that's on their backs. Here it starts tonight. Eric, if they win this one, is it a sign or is it too early?
It's way too early. It's way too early. A couple years ago, they went on that 10-game winning streak in November, and I thought, oh, playoffs. And then they went on a 12-game losing streak. Oh, no playoffs. So, I mean, obviously, if they win this one, it's fun, but I keep my expectations a little bit realistic.
And I will say, your guys' head coach as well is, while he's been to the playoffs,
it's been a little bit. But
yeah.
I don't mind Lindy Ruff. I think Lindy Ruff gets a lot of flack for how the Sabres performed last year. And plain and simple, I think it's more on Kevin Adams, not really supplying him with a lot of goaltending and goaltending, scoring, or defense. Not a lot of it was great last year. Well, goal scoring was good.
Keep in mind, I spat out a stat not too long ago.
But then we got rid of him.
Yeah,
So.
the Sabres last year, if you can believe it, were 10th in the league for goals per game. 10th in the league for scoring. That would put you well in the playoffs. But for goals against, they were 31.
But yeah, I mean, they've beefed up their defense this year, which is super exciting. Kesselring came in, Timmins came in. You get rid of Clifton, you get rid of Bryson. Those two guys were, but you know, hopefully the defense can come together, be a little bit more of a unit, and hopefully you can see that Lindy Ruff isn't as bad as people say they are. Hopefully Kevin Adams can maybe get fired after this season. But I'm most excited in this game to see the goaltending. Last year, we depended a lot on UPL, and I love UPL. UPL he's huge, he's 6'7", he's athletic, he's everything a goalie should be, but not when he's playing all 82 games. Not that he actually played all 82 games, but he needs the rest every once in a while. And they went out and they signed Alex Lyon, and so hopefully he gets some playing time today, and you could see that maybe he could be that second goaltender, or maybe even possibly for the third year in a row, kind of hoping that Devin Levi takes that step for the next NHL level. Because as I was mentioning to you, his athleticism is off the charts. He can lunge like it's no tomorrow, but he is only 5'9", and as a goaltender in the NHL, that's just not acceptable.
Yeah, especially in a league where most of your goaltenders nowadays are about 6'2".
Right. So hopefully he can make that transition. Yeah. But I'm excited. As much as this team causes me mental anguish, I'm excited for tonight. Mm-hmm. How about the Habs, Rob?
Honestly, the Habs right now, they have their own preseason game right now. Now for the final game that we're here to talk about as well, it's my very own Montreal Canadiens. They are packing the Bell Center tonight to see their Habs take on the Pittsburgh Penguins. Sadly, not the game that Marc-Andre Fleury is playing in. Like I mentioned, that's going to be their home game at PPG versus the Columbus Blue Jackets, although I would have loved to see him play in the Bell Center just once more in a Pens jersey, especially with him being Quebecois himself. But nonetheless, the Habs taking on the Penguins right now, and this one is just, it's what we've waited for, because especially with some of like the prospect games as well, Ivan Demidov looks like we're going to get 2 Calder's in a row. I kid you not. Okay, so there was this one clip that I saw online, and it was their prospect game, Habs versus the Winnipeg Jets. The entirety of the Bell Center is singing Country Roads. You know, Country Roads, take me home. And in the middle of that, in the middle of that, Ivan Demidov takes the puck, goes behind the net, a Jet follows him, dekes his shorts off, comes back the other way, causes the entire crowd to stop and go, oh! And that is what we are looking for as Habs fans. I am so excited for Ivan Demidov. People are already calling him demigod. And literally, SKA St. Petersburg, the team from the KHL, or I believe the NHL actually, which is their version of the AHL, literally said after they released him to the Canadiens, can we have him back? No, you can't. He's in Montreal now. He's not going back to Russia. I'm sorry. That's just how it is. He's going to be a staple of the Canadiens' offense for several years to come, because you don't just come across skill like that. Ivan Demidov is probably going to be like that, like X factor forward that we've been searching for years. Montreal has not had an X factor forward probably in a good solid 2 decades. Even when they had the roster of Subban, Gianta, Plekanec, Pacioretty, like all these guys for the Canadiens back in the mid-2010s, they didn't have that X factor. Now they do, with a very young core, and I cannot contain my excitement. That is why I'm going absolutely bananas for this prospect, because this preseason games as well will show you that he has that skill. And of course, on the Habs released earlier their starting lineups, they actually have omitted Cole Caulfield, Nick Suzuki, Juraj Slafkovsky, their entire first line, but they also omitted Lane Hudson, Arbor Jekai, the man on my back, and Jakob Dobesh as well. So Monty's starting. He's got Jacob Fowler behind him, who's another fantastic goaltending prospect, and it is just, I love it. But unfortunately, of course, as I look at the score, it's 1-0 Penguins. I say all of that, and the Penguins are up. But there's a lot of game left to play. It's only halfway through the first. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the offseason is completely over. The preseason is underway, and hockey is back. We'll be with you throughout the entire season, from the home opener to the first round of the playoffs. We'll have all the highlights, all the biggest news and plays, and we'll be delivering it to you right here on WTOP 10. I'll go over the current scores as they stand. The Sabres and the Blue Jackets are still knotted at 0 apiece here. The Penguins and Canadiens, like I said, the Penguins just went 1-0, and it was Tristan Braz actually that scored that goal. And the Lightning and the Hurricanes right now are playing as well. That one is knotted at 0s as well. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. I've been Rob Finger.
And I've been Eric Palmieri.
And we'll see you next time on Hockey Talk.